We keep learning more about the Snow White film from Rachel Zegler from clips that somehow we missed that surfaced during D23 or after the D23 Expo in September of last year. This latest one shows the film star Rachel Zegler claiming that the prince stalked Snow White in the original 1937 animated film, and that the upcoming live action film is, quote, really not about the love story at all. Let's see what she had to say here. She was asked by Extra TV, I know you told me before that your version of Snow White is different and it's more of a 2022 version of Snow White. What did you mean by that? She responded saying the original cartoon came out in 1937 and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird. So we didn't do that this time. I don't think the prince stalks Snow White at all. He's romancing her. Something that people used to do before the year of our Lord 2022, or I guess now it's been a year later, 2023. But I don't even know what movie she was watching. I don't think it was the original animated Snow White. We know that she said she hadn't watched the original Snow White since she was a child, and had been 16 or 17 years since she had seen it because it scared her. And then I guess she did indeed watch it. She says she watched it at least preparing for this film. I don't know why she would, because it seems like they're not even doing Snow White at all. But let's go on here. After saying that the prince was stalking Snow White, which just does not happen in that movie at all, seems to be a complete and utter virtue signal. But I also think that it's not just a virtue signal. I think it's also signaling that Rachel Zegler hates the people that watch Disney movies, hates the people that watch the 1937 animated film, and is being used as a chess piece to deride Americans of what once used to be their culture and what they accepted as their culture. And they're not only using her to deride those people, but they're using her to actually alter what the culture is. And that culture that they want to create, that new culture, is what is going to be reflected in this new movie. And she says what this new movie is. She says, we have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story, just because like we cast a guy in the movie, Andrew Burnap, great dude. It's one of those things that I think everyone's going to have their assumptions about what it's actually going to be, but it's really not about the love story at all, which is really, really wonderful. And whether or not she finds love along the way is anybody's guess until 2024. All of Andrew's scenes could get, who knows, it's Hollywood, baby. I think she says could get cut. I probably forgot that part there. She says could get cut. She then revealed what the film is really about. She says it's an inner journey that she goes on to find her true self, and she meets a lot of people along the way that make the journey really incredible. So I don't even know what movie she's talking about. They're clearly not doing Snow White in any version that I've heard of. They're not doing a live action adaptation of Snow White from the 1937 animated classic that Disney made. It doesn't look like they're doing anything from the Grimm's fairy tales as well. It looks like this is just some kind of original creation that they had in mind, and they're putting a Snow White skin suit on it, even though it's not even Snow White whatsoever. And this is par for the course. This is kind of what we expect. She's been kind of saying these comments. She said this comments like multiple times while at the D23 Expo. When she spoke to Variety, she said, I just mean it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White. Gal Gadot, who's playing the evil queen in the film, interjected saying she's not going to be saved by the prince. Zegler then affirmed, saying she's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, brave, and true. And so it's just a really incredible story for, I think, young people everywhere to see themselves in. So again, they are absolutely changing what the film's morals were, what the film was, how the film was depicting Snow White, how the film was depicting the prince. All of that is being completely changed, and they're still going to attempt to call it Snow White. In fact, they are even changing what the definition of fair is from the original animated film. So this is what she told Entertainment Weekly. The reality is that the cartoon was made 85 years ago, and therefore it's extremely dated when it comes to the ideas of women being roles of power and what a woman is fit for in the world. So there you go, right? They're changing what it means to be American. They're changing what it means to be a woman in America from what it was in 1937 to what it is now. Like, she's explicitly saying that right there. Extremely dated when it comes to the ideas of women being in roles of power and what a woman is fit for in the world. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the evil queen was literally a queen and woman in power. And I guess we're going to be changing that. I don't know. Probably because you can't have the evil queen, the woman being in power, being a negative, right? You got to change that. Got to have Snow White be the true person in power. And that's exactly what she says here. And so when we came to reimagining the actual role of Snow White, it became about the fairest of them all, meaning who is the most just. It's not about beauty. It's not about the evil queen being vain and wanting to kill Snow White because she's jealous of her. It's about now being just and who can become a fantastic leader. Zegler continues saying, and the reality is, Snow White has to learn a lot of lessons about coming into her own power before she can come into power over a kingdom. So it's clearly about her coming into power over a kingdom and being a ruler. It has nothing to do with her kind of being hunted by the huntsman, being seduced and lied to by the evil queen, poisoned, put into a coma, and then having true love save her, the prince's true love save her, and then they get there happily ever after. And then we had this brief interjection here by Gal Gadot, who said also the fact that she's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's the proactive one, and she's the one who sets the terms. Set the terms is what it makes it so relevant to where we are today. Again, this whole idea that they are trying to propagandize to you what it means to be a woman in power in 2023, and how you should be living your life. And that's what they're trying to teach you in this film. And I think you should reject it. I think you should embrace the 1937 film. This is just more utter garbage from the Walt Disney Company. And they've got the perfect spokesman to promote this type of film, though, in Rachel Zegler.
Subscribe for more.